Welcome, Cancer, to your May 2021 reading. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. If this is the first time you've tuned in, I offer free mini readings for all new subscribers. So if you've got a question about this particular reading or something that this reading doesn't cover for you, just click the subscribe button and ask your question in the comments below. Now, if I don't get back to you right away, don't panic. I do get a few people that take me up on my offer, and I work through all of those as I get the as I get to them. So don't panic. I will get back to you, I promise. Now, your reading for May is really interesting. I'm seeing so much fast moving energy here for you, Cancers. And I absolutely see a lot of people around you as well. But let's get into your reading. Now, your first card is the Page of Swords. Now, this can represent an air sign. Normally, I would read this card as an Aquarian, but because this is a general reading, this can be any air sign. This is that can be a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarian. But quite often, page cards are either messages or messengers, and the Page of Air or the Page of Swords, is no different. And this is information that comes to you that can be really quite useful. Or it can also, because it's a sword card and swords can be a little bit challenging, it can be talking about some information that tells you about some temporary delays or some changes to your plans. And sometimes with the Page of Swords, the message isn't often always delivered in the softest kind of way because it is swords, but it's nonetheless important information that you need to know. And it's quite useful as well. And more often than not, it's actually really brilliant information. But the thing to remember with this card is don't shoot the messenger is the message that comes along with this, if the message is a little bit harsh. Now, this can also just be talking about legal documents, and it can even talk about constructive criticism, and it might even talk about just plain old gossip that's coming in for some of you. This is a general reading, so take what resonates and let the rest go. Now, this can be also talking about your career or your job. Now, this is right next to the Eight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles talks about, it's the apprentice card. It's where you're learning something new, you're working with new people. And as I mentioned, you've got an air sign here, you've got a fire sign, you've got an earth sign as well, you've got like two knights. So you could potentially be getting some information about your career, about starting out, learning some new stuff, things that that are really interesting. They're interesting for you. It's not a challenge. I'm feeling, oh, well, it could be challenging, but it's something that is really interesting you. It's like you're throwing yourself into this new career, into this new line of study, and you're practicing your skills and honing your skills. And you're working really hard as well. And it could be on a current project that you're involved in. And, your eyes are absolutely set on perfection when it comes to this, and you are determined to make the grade. So whether you're studying, whether you're throwing yourself into a new project, a new job. Now, this can even talk about going back to school for some of you, or attending a seminar, going to some classes, anything that has to do with re-educating yourself or educating yourself, or further developing your skills. So I feel like a lot of that is going on. And as I mentioned, you've got this fast moving energy. The Knights are movement, and two of the fastest moving energy is the Knight of Swords, which is right below that Eight of Pentacles, and then beside it is the Knight of Wands, which is the second fastest energy. So there's lots of stuff that's happening for you, mentally, creatively, passionately here. Now, the Knight of Pentacles can, as I mentioned, describe a fire sign. So that is Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. And this is someone who races in where angels fear to tread. And the Knight of Fire also talks about a situation that you hadn't actually anticipated, and it requires you to move quite quickly as well. And, this doesn't have to be a challenge that worries you either. It can be something quite wonderful. You might have multiple job offers, you might have multiple things on the go that you're working on, but you've only got a short period of time to decide what it is you want to do. And, you wouldn't want to make a rash decision, Cancer, but you're probably going to have to come to a conclusion pretty quickly if it is a decision that you have to make here. Now, thinking is really important, but your feelings will probably tell you more about what it is you want to do when it comes to this creative or work-related kind of situation. I really feel like once you've considered all of your options in great detail, you're off. You're going to be off and running here. Now, the Queen of Pentacles, this is an earth sign, as I mentioned. You could be getting some interesting Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo in your life here. But when the Queen of Pentacles does show up in your reading, it's talking about a lot of magic that's going on. And it's like, there's abundance flying around, and it's really a time of manifestation for you. And it's almost like you've got everything figured out, and you really are preferring to take the down-to-earth approach to a lot of your problems as well. Now, you're being called upon to make sure that those around you are also getting their needs met when the Queen of Pentacles comes into a reading, because Pentacles are earthy, nurturing kind of signs, and this is the energy that is around you. And I feel like you are like this anyway, Cancer. You often do, you yourself are quite nurturing as well. So don't forget your families and your friends, just because your career is really busy at the moment. And also, the Queen of Pentacles just reminds you to use kindness in all of your interactions with others. You might think you understand their situation, but it's quite possible that people are going through more than you actually realize when you get this card. Now, the Seven of Swords is here as well, and this can be a tricky card. Now, the Seven of Swords is a card that talks about some decisions that might not be the very best way to go. And this is kind of like a message from heaven when you get this card. And it's almost like they're talking about the fact that the current path you're on is maybe not the one that you should be on. You might be making some decisions that aren't really the best for you in the end. So you might be unaware of your situation or oblivious to the actions of others as well. And this card really has the traditional meaning that talks about something being taken away from you, and sometimes it's even the loss of your freedom. So what you don't realize that is that the individual that is actually taking away your independence is yourself. And it's like you might have a bit of a lack of focus on your own needs and life purpose, and it's making you have this sense of limbo where you're not actually getting to where you want to go. And, quite often this can talk about your plans being absolutely fine, but the timing of them just needs to be adjusted. So this can be just a bit of a tricky card here. But I feel like this then leads into that Knight of Swords. And this Knight of Swords is, wow, like I mentioned, fast moving energy. And even though things in the Seven of Swords make you felt like you're in limbo and things aren't happening for you correctly, now this can also, just for some of you, talk about someone that doesn't have your best interests at heart here, or somebody making decisions as well that aren't the best. But in saying that, you are then moving into the Knight of Swords, and you are moving away from that energy very, very quickly. And the Knight of Swords is like that whirlwind situation where it's just whoosh. And if you look at the card, the imagery on that card just exactly shows you the energy of it. It's like the horse and the rider are just flying, and there's wind blowing against them. They're flying into the wind, and it's like you're thinking on your feet as well when you get this card. And even though the Knight of Wands actually talks about that Knight of Wands that you had before talks about making decisions from a passionate side of things, the Knight of Swords talks about using your intellect. So I feel like there's a balance for you here. You've got this passion that's pulling you in one direction, but you're needing to think clearly and use your intellect on the other hand to ensure that you are making the correct decisions for yourself. Because this energy that you're involved in is so swift, it can be difficult to think through your choices, but it's really important that you do, and really consider all of the consequences of your actions as well. I feel like that is very important before you get too far down the road. Now, you've got a significant ending here for you, and the Death card here, people often look at it as being quite ominous, but it's just talking about the ending of a particular situation and the beginning of a new situation for you, a new life. You're moving into this new area where you kind of need to really break free from any old outdated kind of any of that old outdated energy. And it goes hand in hand with that Knight of Swords. I feel like you are bringing about the ending of a particular part of your life that doesn't serve you anymore. And this could be, you've got the Six of Cups here. This could have something to do with your children. It could also have something to do with your past as well. But you're absolutely just you're moving forward in quite a wonderful way. You're not trapped. If you have this feeling of being trapped, you're not trapped. Now, also, this is a general reading, so this might not resonate for everyone, but for some of you, this can actually signify addiction or dependency, and this can be holding you back from your happiness. And this actually is, it doesn't need to be an addiction to drugs or alcohol or the traditional things that you think of when we talk about addiction. This can be any repetitive pattern that is unhealthy for you. And I feel like that when the death card comes in, this can even be talking about people who have excessive debt, or aren't taking responsibility for their own actions here. But I'm feeling in general for you, Cancers, this absolutely is an ending of a particular situation that you were not feeling like you were in the right kind of frame of mind. You were feeling like you weren't moving forward. You were kind of in limbo. This is an end to that, and this is happening quickly. Now, as I mentioned, that Six of Cups, this is such a beautiful card. This is the past and its influence over the present. And when the Six of Cups comes up in a reading, it reminds you to honor the past, express gratitude for it, for your beautiful memories, and also to be forgiving regarding challenging times that you've had in the past. And this can indicate someone from the past that is going to be returning into your life. And this could be that Queen of Pentacles right above it. It could be so many people here. I see you working with so many people in May. But this could be someone that you grew up with, or perhaps someone you knew from your earlier years as an adult. And because this card kind of has a watery energy, this person from your past, it could have been someone that you may have had a romantic history with, or it could be a friend from the past that will be coming back into your life, but as something a little bit more intimate than just a friend. Now, this has so many multi-layered messages, but this card also can ask you to be reviewing the past as well. Because of this significant ending with the Death card here, you might be, looking back and questioning how you looked at the past. Are you making it more dramatic than it was? Are you not, is it more lovely than reality actually was? Than you thought it was. So a lot of stuff from the past is coming up, and you're not the only sign that had this card. I think Gemini had this as well, so you might want to check out their reading. This could have something to do with a Gemini for you, but this can talk about your children as well, and this can be an indicator of pregnancy. It can just be an issue that is involving your children, or even a sign that a person who this can be a sign of somebody who actually works with children as well, professionally. But finally, the message of this card is remember to be like a child and allow more fun into your life. The Six of Cups signifies receiving or exchanging gifts as well, but I really feel like you need to be allowing some of that childlike energy into your life, Cancers, in May, because there's a lot of fast moving energy, a lot of mental energy, a lot of creative energy, a lot of hard work as well. So just be like a child. And I feel like Cancers are good at doing that. I feel like they can grasp that childlike energy that they had and really have some fun. And you know what? Look at your final card there. This is kind of repeating that message, savoring, pleasure. And the mantra for this card is, I fully embrace bliss in my life. So say that to yourself in May, Cancers. The meaning of this card is, fill your life with people, experiences, and places that bring you delight and joy. Live deliciously. Release the need to be practical in all situations. Surround yourself with beauty and sumptuous pleasures. The universe wants you to know you're not meant to be solely working hard and be dutiful and diligent. Life should be lived abundantly and fully. Give yourself permission to be happy and experience profound gratification. Embrace pleasure whenever you can. Create personal environments that fill you with deep satisfaction. Cherish your friendships. Love often and deeply. Allow your senses to be satiated. See, hear, taste, touch, and feel the beauty within and around you. Drink well, eat well, and dance into the early morning hours. That is such a beautiful message, Cancers. I just see May being such a busy month for you, with some pretty important messages coming through. Just be careful of that energy of the Seven of Swords. Make sure that you are really thinking through any decisions clearly. Embrace that death. Embrace that ending of this energy that is being quite burdensome for you and making you feel like you're stuck and you're not moving forward, and you're kind of just in limbo. That's ending. Be in touch with the past and all of that beautiful emotional energy of the Six of Cups, and savor that pleasure, Cancers. I hope you have a wonderful month. I hope that resonates for you. If you're into crystal jewelry, check out my website at kazana.com.au. There's beautiful crystal pieces there. They are all one-off pieces only, designed and made in Australia by an Australian designer. Check those out if you're into crystals. The meanings of all of those crystals are also on that website. So have a wonderful May, Cancer, and I hope to see you next month. Bye.